Hey guys, it's Stavya, and today I'm going to show you how to create a moving background in Scratch. See, it may sound easy and all, but it is not that easy because I'll show you one secret that, let's select a backdrop you want to search. I want to make it left to right, so for that, Night City is the best according to me. So I would select Night City. Now let's go to the backdrop stage and see here in the code block. Stage selected, no motion blocks. So you can't move the stage. So how do you do it? You need to take this and add it on this. Then switch to the blank backdrop and go to the sprite. Now in the sprite you would have this selected. So now you can delete the cat costumes of it. Now we have this backdrop costume in the sprite. Okay, now you can, if it's not covering the whole screen, then you can select it and increase its size and all so that it looks normal, right? So now it's enough for the screen to fill. Now we need to make this move because now this has motion blocks. So first create two new variables, X position 1 and Y position 1. Why 1? Because we can't just do it with one sprite. Scrolling background would need two sprites. So that's why we're saying X position for the first one, not the second one. Now we go to events, of course. Everybody knows you can't do a code without events. So in events, say set X position 1 and set Y position 1 to 0. So let's see, now we drag it to a different position. Now let's see, does it go to 0, 0? No. Why? It's because that, if you see, this is a variable, not the XY. So what we want to do is we want to go to XY and go to the variables and say go to X position 1 and Y position 1. So that's the, now let's see, yes it goes. Now if you drag it, it again comes back to 0, 0 every time. So now we need a forever loop and say change X position 1 by -10. Now if you want the Y position, you can say change Y position, but I'm doing X position, so I would say change X position 1 by -10. Then now again duplicate this, go to X position 1 and Y position 1, put it after after that. Yeah, so now let's see. Okay, that maybe is too fast, so I'll just make it -5. Let's test that. Yeah, that's okay for now. So then now what is happening is that it reaches here and it stops. If you check the variables, the variable is keep increasing and increasing, decreasing because it's negative value, but it's not moving because you can only get to that position. So what we want to do is say that if X position 1 is smaller than -480, which would mean that the X position is -481, then we need to set it to 480. Okay, So now let's test this, and when it reaches that, it should now see it's going. But this is not fully done because now there is a big gap here. So that's what I was saying, you can't do it with one sprite. You can if you create clones, but it's easier to do it with 2 sprites. Now create 2 new variables, x position 2 and y position 2, and hide these 2 variables, and replace in sprite 2, replace all the x position 1 with x position 2, and replace all the y position 1 with y position 2. Okay, so when you're done with that, then now let's test it. So I'll just do this last one. Yes. So now let's test it. It should look exactly same, because see, like even if you created a new variable for it, but the problem is that they're working the same, right? So what we need to do, we need to say that for x position 2, start it at 480. So it would start at this behind. So now as you see, it's fully done. Now if you see a gap in any of them, then you can go to the costumes, make sure it's in vector mode, and select the thing and increase its size. But for me there's no problem, and as you see, it looks that as if you're scrolling. Just at this part you may see that there are 2 different sprites, but still it's not that notice if you don't know that there are 2 sprites. And one last thing, we need a character on our place. So we would say, go to, this is it, oops. Now I'm saying bear walking because it has a good walking symbol from bear walk A to bear walk H. So go to x 0 y minus 43 and forever next costume and forever next costume and wait 1 second. So now let's test it. Oops, maybe that's a bit too slow, so I'll make it 0.3, maybe that's enough. I think that's even slower. 0.2 may be perfect. So yes, this is perfect. It looks like the bear is walking on the road with no problem. And one more thing in these, like now you may notice that if you add this, then the bear sprite is not visible. That's not because it's hiding, it's because that this is coming ahead of it. So say go backward, you can say like any number. I just have 1 sprite, but I'll just do it 10 layers back. So you can add 10 more sprites and no worries of anything. And remember to put it in both of them. And remember not to put it forward, otherwise it will go ahead of the bear. Oops, not 110. Yeah. So the same thing is happening. But if you had like a problem with it selecting and the bear was behind this, then now it should look different and the bear should be low. See, so that's how you create a moving background in Scratch. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Till then, bye.